Welcome back to the Be Real podcast, Westchester Country Day Schools podcast for all things wellness. I am Kim Van Dessel here with my dear friend
Claire Brinson.
We also have Luke Haybrock here with us as our audio engineer. Hey, Luke. Today's episode, we're going to discuss the shifts we feel during transitions.
Yes, and our entire school community has just gone through a huge transition. Students, teachers, parents, from summer to school. And Kim, just because the calendar said that school started doesn't mean that our bodies and brains know that school started.
I can relate to that. I snooze my alarm so much.
Oh, that's yeah. We got to just get out of bed.
I think we just got to do it. Make that change.
That's right.
So the shift from summer to school, it doesn't have to feel like you're losing your freedom. It can also be about gaining some opportunities.
That's right. That's right. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
And our school, we've so many, think about sports, almost right as soon as school starts, play audition time comes on.
Music lessons,
yes.
Voice lessons.
Lots of clubs that the kids are involved in.
Robotics.
Lots of things. Lower school's got a lot of clubs going on. Our upper school.
I think Odyssey starts taking place. Isn't that started already
yeah,
too?
Soon. Yeah. So I feel like to be able to be in the right frame of mind and to just have the, energy to get involved with all of these opportunities, we got to lock in on our routines.
Yeah. It's not just night, but it's also morning, right?
For sure.
You have two different kind of routines that you have to get going on.
Well, I always think that a good morning routine starts at night.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have your night routine together, your morning is sunk. You got no chance in the morning if you don't have your nighttime routine together.
Well, and one of the things, I do is lay out your clothes the night before.
Yes.
And especially at the beginning of school, we have all these color days and spirit days.
Yes.
And to help with so, if it's a red day, then you got to go, otherwise I'm in my closet. I'm sitting there for how long trying to find something to wear that day.
That's right. Or your kid comes to you at 7:30 saying, "This is what I'm supposed to wear today," which is also a disaster. For sure. And I think also our kids need to be ready at night before they wake up in the morning. They need to have all their stuff together.
Yeah. So it's talking about just think of your backpack or whatever it is that you bring your school stuff in. Most of the time it's a backpack, right? You gotta, for the older kids, it's making sure their Chromebook is charged or being charged.
For sure.
Right?
You can't do that in the morning.
No. And some people are really good at packing their snacks. Do you do that?
I always have snacks, for sure.
Do you pack them the night before too?
Yes, and I get my if I know that I need to eat breakfast while I'm at school the next day, I get that together. Because again, if I don't do it at night, then in the morning, everything in the morning, why does it seem like everything in the morning takes 10 times as long as it does at night?
I don't know, because even if you're trying to get kids breakfast, if they're younger, or, getting your own stuff.
And then your animals always seem to need something extra in the morning too, for some reason.
Everybody needs. So another good one is your sport bag. So if you have because how many times do we as parents running up a pair of shoes because they forgot to pack their sport bag? But if we pack that the night before, we know it's all together in one bag. That's your uniform. And
that's right. And I can't count how many times I've been caught off guard if I don't do it the night before, realizing in the morning that the uniform is not clean.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's the worst.
And then it's I've been
there. Then you're definitely having to make an extra trip.
Well, and another routine that's really hard to get back into is meals, because we've all been pretty lazy on when our eating times are. But now I feel like we're in a routine. It's a little bit more given.
Well, in the summer, you just have so much more flexibility, not only for when you eat, but also for time to prepare what you're going to eat. I mean, the school year, it doesn't matter how old your kids are. The evenings they just seem to be packed.
Yeah, but it's everything from, any extracurricular activity to your own extracurricular activities Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot. So I think meals, and just give yourself a break,
I think
right?
that's actually
Like,
the
don't put
answer.
so much pressure on ourselves.
Well, not only whether or not to cook, but also what you're eating. Sometimes dinner can just be a bowl of cereal, a
Yeah.
sandwich.
And that's sometimes the best kind, right?
That's right. You might be shocked that your kids are excited.
Yeah. Maybe that's even a way you can have your kids get involved and say, everybody come up with a plan for you get Monday, you get Tuesday, and maybe you can do it that way too. That would be a good idea.
For sure. I love that. And then after dinner,
Oh, come sleep.
we got to get in bed.
Gotta get in bed.
We've got to get in bed. I think that I know it's sometimes challenging to think about getting to bed early, but
Well, it's so important for so many aspects,
for so
right?
many reasons, because we all come to school every day to learn, and it's really hard to learn
When you can't focus.
when you can't focus, and if you don't sleep, there's no chance that you're focusing. And all day long too, we're working with other people.
Yeah.
To be positive and calm and to feel friendly, you got to feel rested, right?
Right. And when you always kind of know when you're not rested, you kind of feel off, right?
For
So you
sure.
might be a little cranky. That's when they're like, "Ooh, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?" That's where
Yes,
that all comes from, right?
for sure.
Just get to, and that's so hard to get to bed early, especially I think of, the lower school kids. I feel like it's um, you know, it's easier to set a bedtime. I feel like the older they get, that's a little bit harder. Because there's times when I'm going to bed, but my son is still up doing
For
homework.
sure. For sure.
Hmm.
Well, the other thing I kind of, like to be real about, since we're trying to be real well here,
Yeah.
with upper schoolers, especially, and middle schoolers, when they feel like, oh, I can't get to bed yet because I have so much homework. But what does your screen time say for the day? How
Ooh.
much time have you spent there?
Yeah, screens. I mean, yeah, speaking of screens, can we get the screens away from the homework area?
Can we get the
Woo!
screens away from the homework area,
That is
please?
the biggest distraction. I mean, it's a distraction, not just homework. I mean, in
Yes.
life, it's one of our biggest distractions.
And we're not trying to just like throw shade at the kids here. This is us. We're talking about
Yeah,
ourselves.
me too. Yeah.
But to do homework, to really study and learn, you've got to be able to focus. You've got to be able to think in a straight line. And if you have something dinging, let's even say you have all your notifications turned off, but the phone is sitting there and it's so tempting.
Isn't that the site? I might get this wrong. Pavlov's dog, when they hear the,
Oh,
right?
ding,
That's exactly what it
ding,
is. It's like they hear
100%.
that and they have to look at
They're
it.
like, oh, what's
Like,
going
what
on?
am
What
I
am I
missing?
missing? And guess what you're missing?
Nothing.
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 I'm getting loud. I'm
I
getting,
know.
I have strong feelings about this.
But what many people probably don't know about Claire is Claire does not have any type of social media, which is a big thing for me to learn from as well. And it's you enjoy the moments.
Well, that was again, not because I'm so good at it, but that was just me paying attention to the way that I feel, and
Yeah.
I've just never felt great after I was on social media. And guess what? Just like we just said, I really don't miss anything. Like if there's something going on,
We
just
always tell you.
right before we recorded, you said, "Oh, I need to show you this. You missed this on
Yeah.
whatever Instagram today."
A
So
shout out to Stacy. Thank you, from Humble Warrior, because she posted about our podcast.
That's
so
right.
Thank you, Stacy.
But anyways, yes, we really should help our kids to know how important it is to have a phone-free study time.
Well, and I mean that's such a big part of that comes down to organization, right?
100%.
So organization. I mean, one of the biggest things that I work with kids is organization, and yes, we have Canvas, but we can look. But so many times, like a paper planner is huge.
I agree. If there's some homework that needs to be done on the computer, but there's definitely homework that needs to be done not on the computer. And so maybe to write those assignments down so that you have
Yeah.
them in front of you, and then it gives you the opportunity to put the screen away while you're doing the homework that doesn't involve a
Well,
screen.
and what I find is when you write out on a paper calendar, you start it, say on Monday, I work with my kids, and then we write down what we have for the week. And yes, that can change, but you know that you're looking ahead. I'm going to have a test on Tuesday, a quiz on Wednesday, and then another two quiz or test or quizzes on Friday.
And I always tell my students that I teach, preparation goes up, anxiety goes down. The more prepared you, which like you said,
Yeah.
starts with organization. If you can get organized and know what's coming your way,
Yeah.
and then spend a little time each night preparing for what's ahead.
Well, and just think of like your binder. So in your binder, you can just have everything shoved in a folder, but if you just have a folder for each class, whether it's color coded or whatever, it needs to be labeled, and that's where that stuff goes.
For sure.
And it's not stuffed in your book bag, because how many times do I open up kids' book bags and it's like there's like things growing out of it.
Well, I think so. Maybe we should think about taking those organizational moments at certain points during the day.
Yeah.
Not just at night. At night, for
Yeah.
sure, in the night routine, it's definitely important before homework, and then again after home. I think homework's not done until you've packed up the bag, until you've
Right.
organized your stuff for the next day. Then you're all done with your homework.
Right. And so then in a way you kind of think, well, what does a study space look like? Like what does your study environment look like? It makes you stop and think, and then look around and see, are these things that are beneficial, or these things that I need to put away?
It makes me think about my work environment too, because I was just telling my husband last week that there was a day my computer restarted and I never opened the tab for my personal email. So the only tabs I had open were just things to do with what I was working on then. And I didn't really even notice that until the end of the day. I was so productive.
Yeah, because you didn't have distractions.
It just took it off the table. Like it wasn't even an option. So maybe those are the kinds of things we can think about too.
We can do that, and just like a little bit of goal setting. Just like you don't have to do everything, but just even if you you have a math test, do a little bit each day, so you're not cramming everything. Just kind of plan ahead, look ahead, and see what you have.
And
I think would
just
be
each time you're just trying to do a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
We're not in competition with anybody but ourselves.
Right.
I think also, Kim, we need to remember that we need to have a little fun every day.
Oh,
like
my
you said,
goodness, yes.
The routines and the school year doesn't have to be this like endless, work. We can pop a little fun in there, especially if we're organized and we're using our time well.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit of time for freedom.
Well, because don't you find like everything seems to be so serious, and we, even as adults, we forget to have fun. We forget how to play, and so when you're, say, even in trying to think, like if you're in a type of meeting and we get to do things that are more playful, we all enjoy that.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
So,
and just like we were talking about that meals don't have to be perfect, your fun doesn't have to be perfect and planned out. You can have fun in just little spontaneous ways too.
Well, like one of the things that I love to do is I keep bananagrams out, and so like we'll play a game, and so we'll and I know not everybody in my family loves games, but I love a game, so it's one of those things that you can kind of connect.
But that's a great idea.
Yeah, so if you can kind of keep a game out somewhere, or just some cards out, and some people again, I'm really the gamer in our family, but you don't even have to, it doesn't always have to be games. You can do reading, read a family book. I used to do that with our kids when they were little.
And maybe a book that doesn't necessarily have to do with school too.
Yeah.
That was always one of my favorite things to do with my kids when I was little. Yeah. And honestly, nobody ever takes me up on it. But even now that my kids are giant, I still sometimes I'm like, do you have anything you need me to read to you tonight? Are you reading a book? I'll read you a little bit. And they run out of the room. But I would love to do that. How about some music?
Oh my gosh, to dancing. How good do you feel if you start dancing around the kitchen?
Well, I mean, sometimes when you're cooking dinner and things go south, you just got to do something
Just
to make yourself
dance it
laugh.
out, or even just listen to music that's so calming, and
Yes.
instead of a TV on all the time.
And now that we have access to any song we want to listen to,
Yeah.
anytime we want to listen to it, sometimes I don't I need to remember to let somebody else be my DJ sometimes because
Hmm.
there's so many great there's so much great music that I've forgotten about.
Right, and so many different, and do you think of all the times that we've been here anyway? All the music. So that's good. Another thing you can even do it. What about riding a bike?
Oh
Just the
my
old fashioned
goodness.
ride a bike. Someone just sent that to me, like a thing growing up in the 80s. Um, and it was like, yes, we did. We used to get on our bikes and just ride and ride. And we knew it was starting to get a certain time, you go home. But do you remember how
Yes,
easy
and
that was? And we just don't do that like we used to.
but
Kids,
that's also a huge thing. We need to go out. We need to get outside.
yeah.
I mean, we need to make sure our environment is not just indoors and that we're not just taking a break exactly where our work is. We need to get into a totally different space.
Which is always so good. And that's why, um, even like just try eating dinner together, whether you normally eat in the kitchen, maybe take it outside, do a picnic,
It feels
or
so different.
yeah, just, and eating together is really hard.
It is very difficult.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's almost like because there's nights that we really can't eat together, sometimes I feel like nights that we can, it's important to like almost make a point of doing it because once you get in the routine of not eating together, it's easy to just be like, it's fine,
Yeah.
dinner's out whenever you want to eat it. But
It's a great time to connect. Again, it's part of your environment. It's how you feel. It's
and we might
so,
be surprised the things we learn about,
hmm
you know, anybody in our family. It's another great place to make sure that everybody is looking at each other instead of at a screen.
at a screen. My gosh, just collect them all before dinner starts, right?
So connecting with your family for sure is important, and we could do that at home, but also get out in the community and get like take our family out and do stuff around
Yeah.
the community.
Yeah, think about here at school, we can go watch a play when the kids have all worked so hard.
And they get so excited.
I mean, especially when they see people in the audience that they know. I
I
think
know.
they love that. And then you can talk to them about it.
Oh my gosh. And it's just so amazing how talented our kids are.
And I think since my kids have been coming, like when Max was in the fifth grade, and then, the kids, we've been going to the sporting events. That was like our big thing.
Oh, my kids
It's
loved
like
it.
we used to think we knew everybody like they were famous or something. Like,
Oh, when
oh,
my
yeah.
boys were little, they did look at
Oh,
the high
yeah.
school teams like they were
Oh,
famous.
yeah. And then they'd be ball boys. They were just
Oh my
made their day.
gosh.
But I mean, going to a game it's social, it's being
It's
involved.
you're
It's,
out. Well, for some of them, you're outside.
yeah,
Baseball, soccer, tennis, golf.
yeah,
Um,
outside.
yeah.
And some things Mary does really well is she has book clubs. I mean,
Yes, she
that's,
does.
she, what is the,
There's so much to learn about raising them ready is
yeah,
what's coming up.
in November?
Yes. And I think there's a personal book club that's gotten started too.
Yes.
Um,
And
Personal meaning like non-school.
right.
Yeah,
And then like you can be an ambassador for your school community,
for sure.
that's
Spread the
so
word.
easy to do about how great our school is.
And so if you're listening thinking, well, how am I supposed to know about all of this? One thing that I try to make sure that I do each week is read all the way through our This Week at Westchester because there are so many things that I like. I mean, even though I work at the school and I have an 11th grader, there's so much going on that I
Hmm.
don't know about that is so fun to learn about.
Yeah, I mean you'll find out everything going on. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's definitely a big plus. And if you're not in the community, I'm sure that's on the website. Is it not?
I don't know. Maybe that would be a great idea though. If it's
Yeah.
not,
So, what are some small things that you think your family could change about your environment to enhance their wellness? I don't
well,
know. Like, what's something you could do?
I can think of probably a lot of things that we need to do, but I feel like it's best to start small. I heard someone say if something feels overwhelming, it's because you haven't made the first step small enough.
Ooh, I love that.
I know it. I think I remembered it because it makes me feel really comfy because I can
Yeah,
be very easily overwhelmed. And so if I
yeah,
break something down into something smaller, so for me, it's going to have to be something little. And I think something I would like to try and do, which if I'm being real with myself, we probably only do once a week, even though I think we're getting better at it. But I would really like to start to do it most nights is to take our dog around the block after dinner. We have a little block. It's not even a 10-minute walk,
yeah.
but even that's so short that sometimes we can even get our son to come with us, which is amazing because I mean, the older they get, the less you see them. And so
Right.
anytime you get with them is just like such a gift. But that's something I really think that I'm going to try. Maybe I'll make it a goal for October and see if we can do that most nights after dinner.
Which would be, I would love to do that too. I always have an excuse though. I always have a reason. Like, oh, we
Right.
have soccer tonight, or we have this tonight, or we've got a meeting. Tom has this,
But do
or
you notice the nights that you do it again, even if
you
it's
feel
just
better.
5 minutes, you have this entire switch in the way that you feel.
And you think of all the people that you do see walking, they're all just as busy as we are, but
Yes.
they made the
Well,
time.
like you said, sometimes it's not even that you're so busy, it's that you can just come up with a reason. It's too cold. It's a
Yeah.
little damp outside. I don't feel like it because I just put my pajamas on. I'm so tired. But I just it's a good little reset to kind of wind the
It's good
evening
to
down.
change your environment up. I think I'm going to try and sketch my dinner out on Sundays for the week because that's probably my biggest. It's like, what's for dinner? And it almost
Oh
makes me
my
like,
gosh.
puts me in a bad mood when someone says, what's for dinner?
And somebody's going to ask.
Yeah,
I
they
get
always
text
ask.
messages. Oh, what's for dinner? I'm like, oh my God, what is for dinner? I don't know. You tell me. No, I think that's great. I think the other thing when you do that, it lets you give yourself that break we were talking about. Like if you look at the week and you're being real
Yeah,
with the week and what's going on with the week, then a night that you have a game at 6 o'clock, maybe don't plan to cook a big dinner that night unless
right.
it's something you can put in the crock pot earlier. Maybe that's a night that you like sometimes on a Sunday, my husband and I will almost cook enough for two dinners just so that we have some
That
kind of
extra.
like stock in the fridge that either we can just eat straight up as leftovers or that we can take and make into a quesadilla, which making a quesadilla is as easy sometimes as making a sandwich. Like it
Right,
really doesn't take that long.
right,
Or like leftover soup in the fridge or something like that to where nights that I mean, that could be part of your dinner plan. Like if
right.
Wednesday night, you
Yeah.
have a game, then you just sketch out leftovers for that night.
Well, and I love, as we know, Jana Patterson and myself, we are our big paper planner people.
Yes.
So I love to put out my big paper planner and look at my week. And I do. And I always say that. And then I'll ask my family, what do you want to do? And then everybody kind of goes, eh.
Yeah,
So I
nobody
just
tells
like,
you, but then they want
nobody
it.
wants
But then they're
anything.
texting you at
Yeah.
4:30 on Tuesday, wanting
So
to know what's for
I
dinner.
think I'm just going to try and make a conscious effort to really make that look ahead more in the
And
week, my
and
planner.
if you are being real with yourself on a Sunday, that doesn't have to take 2 hours. You don't have to
No,
get all the
it can
cookbooks
take
out. You don't
five
have.
minutes.
It really can.
You and I did it last, or was it?
When we were prepping,
Yes,
when
when
we
we
were
were
prepping for this episode.
yes, you helped me do that.
Yeah.
It's like I think we did it in like under a minute,
I keep mine on the same note on my phone as my grocery list.
which
It
is
says
you taught me that
says
too.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and when we have a soccer game, I put a little soccer ball emoji.
So we know those are long
And
nights.
then I plan a couple nights that I'm going to cook something, and then I plan one night where we don't have a game and I don't cook anything, and we either have leftovers or we pick something up, um, so that I can take a walk or go to yoga or meet a friend or something that I want to do.
Well, I think it's a good reminder that we don't just live in our environments; that the environments actually live in us.
The environments that we create
Yes.
live in us.
So, what is living in you? now I'm going to leave you and our guests to think about that. Just how is it living in you, and what, how is your environment working?
I love it.
Um,
I love it. So I think that's a wrap, Kim. What do you think?
I think so.
All right. So that is Be Real Well. And make sure that you share this conversation if you enjoyed it. Tell our whole community and people outside of our community too. And remember, wellness and purpose are lifelong journeys, not destinations. This is something that we work on every day.
Every day. And until next time, take care of yourself and the environment.
Thanks for tuning in. Remember to get with the program and
Make that change.
make that change.
Make the change.